guys, welcome back to Math with Miss L. We are going ahead and jumping right into lesson 2, perimeter and missing sides. So if you are following along with your scavenger hunt, ears open, eyes open, here we go. Guys, we're going to start this example with an iPhone. Miss LaFuente put up her iPhone and I tried to trace around it as best as I could. I want to find my missing side. So I came up with a number that my perimeter was 60 centimeters. It says, what is the width of the phone, the iPhone? I'm going to tell you that our length is 20 centimeters to start off with. Okay, so hopefully we know that opposite sides, well, first off, this is a rectangle, right? We're dealing with rectangles and squares for 4th grade right now. Opposite sides are equal. So if I know that 20 centimeters is my length, I'm going to use 20 centimeters on my other side. And you can always make that separate. And you can always underline your width. And you could say the width is blank. If you're doing your solution sentences at home, that could be a question. All right, so right now, let's say that we want to find out our width, because that's what it's asking. So we don't know our width yet, but we're still working with our perimeter. So those of us who like doing model drawing, because that's our next step usually in a word problem, if we like doing model drawing, we know that our total for our strip diagram either goes on the top or the bottom, and we usually don't put it on the side, but sometimes you can. So our perimeter is 60 centimeters. Remember, that's the total distance around a figure or shape. So right now we have 60 centimeters in total. We have number of centimeters. One of our lengths, so I'm going to put L1 for length 1. We remember that. Our length 1 we're going to say is 20 centimeters. Our length 2 is going to be 20 centimeters, just like that. And now we have not just one width, so don't just give me a W and say goodbye. No, that's width 1. You put width 1 over here and width 2. Hopefully we know that opposite sides of a rectangle are the same. So if you find one width, well, that'll be the same answer as your other width, okay? And it just wants to know what the width is, so only one of those widths. Let's go ahead and talk about this. You have part and a part. You need to figure out your other parts to get your whole, or you can take your parts that you have, and hopefully we're thinking of doing what operation? Subtraction, okay? So we could do 60, take away 20, take away 20, or maybe you want to do 20 plus 20 first, and then take that away from 60. It's all up to you, okay? Let's go ahead and work with one of these. Miss LaFuente loves to add up what she has. So 20 plus 20, hopefully we know is 40. 20 plus 20 is 40. Now I'm going to take 60 and subtract it from what we have, which is 40. And we're left with another 20. Please do not say, oh, our width is 20. Not quite. Slow down, because you have to split it between two widths. You have two widths that want a value. They want a number. I get it. So we have to split it in half, right? You're dividing it into two widths or just splitting it. So hopefully we know 20 divided by 2 is blank, or 2 times what gives you 20. Hopefully we're thinking of 10. So each width is 10. So we can take that question mark away and put 10. We already filled it in. Now, before you put your answer as 10 centimeters, please check it. So in your strip diagram, if you add 20 plus 20, that's 40, plus 10 is 50, plus 10 more is 60. So if you get it, if you get your total, put a check, because that's correct, right? We love to check our work. So one width is 10 centimeters. All right, guys, stay tuned. We have one more exit ticket. Well, this is an example, but we're going to have our exit ticket here in a second. Let me erase this, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, Miss LaFuente is going to do this way. We're going to go ahead and read it together. The model shows a rectangular field with a width of 75 meters, the perimeter of the field is 600 meters. And it says, if we can see it, what is the length of the field in meters? So if you see a rectangle and it's talking about a rectangle, please draw a rectangle. I'm going to look at it. It says that the width is 75 meters. So remember, I like to believe that the length is the long side and our width is our shorter side. So notice, I didn't just write one width. I wrote two because there's two widths in a rectangle. It says that it's 75 meters. So I'm going to make sure I write M for meters. And it says the perimeter of the field is 600 meters. So I'm going to write P is 600 meters. And something we haven't really been doing, but we definitely can do, is go back to our reference chart and write our formula. So we know that perimeter equals length plus width plus length plus width. Let's talk about this. So we know our perimeter is 600 meters, so the total distance around is 600 meters. Remember, our question is, what is the length? And there are two lengths, right? So the length is blank. Let's go ahead and actually talk about this strip diagram, shall we? Because I love doing strip diagrams for this. So one will say our total, which we know our perimeter's total is 600 meters. We're talking about number of meters because that's our unit right now. Okay, hopefully we can see that from home. We're going to say one of our widths, excuse me, one of our widths, so width 1 is 75 meters. Width number 2 is 75 meters, and you can always check it off as you go. And you have length 1 that we don't know about and length 2 that we don't know about. Okay, so that's what we're solving for. Alrighty. Right now, once again, if you watched the practice problem from before, we like to add our widths or what we have before we take it away from our whole. So I'm going to go ahead and do our 75 plus our 75. 7 plus 7 tenths is 14, plus one more 10 is 15. And then whatever I have, I'm going to take it away from our total to find what we have left over. So hopefully we know that we need to subtract. You can't take 5 away from nothing, so go over and borrow. Now you have 10 tens. Take away 5 tens is 5 tens. 500, take away 100 is 400. So please do not tell me, Miss LaFuente, our answer is 450 for the width. Sorry, the length. Not quite. Remember, you still have two lengths. You've got to split it, right? You've got to split it. So we're going to go ahead and do 450 divided by 2 equals blank. So you can think of that as 2 times what gives you 450. Or better yet, we can practice our long division because that's not going to go away. So, does McDonald's sell burgers? Here we go. 4 divided by 2 we know is 2. We know to multiply, it's 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract, we get 0, and bring down our 5. 5 divided by 2, going in evenly without any leftover, we're going to say it is 2. And then 2 times 2 is 4. Now we're subtracting, we get 1. And we bring down our 0. Now we have our 10. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. And 5 times 2 is 10. Subtracting, and we have 0. There's nothing left to bring down, so our answer is 225. We're going to plug that in. And we're going to make sure we check. So remember, perimeter, we have to add up everything. Add up each side. So when I add up all my sides, I'm going to go ahead, maybe do that on the side. We did 75 plus 75 is 150. And now 225 plus 225 is 10. Oh, sorry. 5 plus 5 is 10. 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 tens. 450. And we got that. So 450 over here. 4 plus 100 plus another 100 is 600. Yay! So we can plug it in. Our length is 225 meters. Don't forget your meters. All right, guys, it looks like we did some crazy math today. How fun. If you did and finished your scavenger hunt, please turn it in for a free 100. Those of us who want to review lesson 3, stick around because that is right after. All right, guys, have fun.